Welcome back for the final of the Las Vegas Classic here, a part of the Las Vegas Open in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada at the Tuscany Suites and Casino. I'm Sean Green, joined by Nick Dichiria on the call. Nick, we have an All-American final between David Fatum, currently residing in Arizona, and Chris Lim, who lives in California.
Yeah, West Coast affair this seems to be, but I'm excited to see how this one will play out because it's hard to really put an exact pin on this. Chris Lim started off in that semi a little shaky there, not as tight as he was in the rounds leading up to it, but then by the end was near a 90 average. Fatum pretty much had control over Dichiria in his semifinal appearance here and has been sitting for a little while. Let's see how they perform here, what performance they're going to bring. I recommend bringing their A-plus games as they want to get the title done.
Well, we know that averages and stats don't tell a whole story, but they do tell a story. Chris Lim, right now, number one in the averages for the event at an 87.6. David Fatum, second in the averages at an 86.5. The first nine, there's really nothing in between them, 1 point. The average finish, Fatum 18 points higher on that, which is a bit of a stretch there on that. But both of them playing extremely well. Checkout turn percentage, 2% between them. It should be a last leg decider based on just the stats alone, but that's why they play the game. First to 5 legs.
I mean, they're going to have a tough time upstaging that ladies' silver final we had today, as that was absolutely intense. Down to the wire, missed match darts, ton plus checkouts. They're going to try their best to make sure to go on the run here.
Yeah, that was a 3-ring circuit. It was so intense. As we get the tail of the tape from David Fatum, round 1 defeated Smith with an 87 average. Harrison in round 2 an 84. Shoemaker in round 3 with a 71, so a bit of a dip there. 89 against Tony Martin. Alex Spellman he defeated with a 92 average. Bruce Robbins with a 90 average. James Beaton, the 21-year-old, with an 87. And then Ethan Dichiria, the 20-year-old, with an 85 average in the semi to get to this point.
Look at this. Fatum does check it out. 157 to get things going here. A hold a throw in style. And fun fact, that same year in 2018 where I met Chris, I then went on to meet David Fatum and lost 5-0.
Yep. Pops is in the chat letting you know that.
Reminding me of that.
Yep. And that's why you're sitting back here with us instead of out there on that stage. You lost to both of them in the past. I would have too. I just never have.
So then by that logic, I'm as good as Nilsson and Dichiria.
Exactly. But they're not back here. Chris Lim's tail of the tape to this point. Anthony Romero in round number 3 with an 85 average. Jeff Springer, the gold event, yesterday's finalist, with an 81. Jason Brandon, Lakeside semifinalist with a 96. And then, of course, Ram Guevara defeated him with a 99 average before dispatching of Dennis Nielsen right here on our stream with an 86 to get to this point.
Chris Lim opted to not go for the 1-3-3 in a semi, opting to not do it here either.
Fatum will go down at the 19s. No, he won't. Well, I don't know what's going on here anymore. Something is happening here. And I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah, going to be a little bit of a questionable decision-making on both of those shots there for these players. Inconsequential as neither one of them has collected on a big follow-up.
Yeah, there's one thing you never have to worry about with Chris Lim. He's going to be fashionable. I like the baseball jersey. Rocking the Jordans.
Lim trying to rock a 112. Not going to be able to do so. That was a beautiful dart at it, but low on the wire.
And Fatum's going to come up with a Shanghai opportunity after just taking out the 157. This for a 2-0 lead in this final for Fatum.
Fatum has already done a 157 for leg number 1. 120 is statistically way easier. But not today.
Does leave an interesting double on the last. But Lim, 2 darts at tops. 1 dart at double 10 to hold his throw. And he drags it way inside. Miles inside for him. David Fatum, a huge opportunity.
Yeah, leaving the Mincer special double 14. Doesn't get it there, so now has to shoot the double 7. You have to play it aggressive with Lim on 10. Can't be afraid of it. You have to attack, attack, attack. Floated it away.
Not happy with that. You can see him talking to himself. About as far off as Lim's shot at the double 10. So nervy early here in this final.
But there you see Chris Lim does go ahead and bank it in there for a 1-1 matchup here. David Fatum going to get things going in the next leg. Not going to waste any time looking for a redemption shot. And sometimes you'll see that. You'll see players struggle on some doubles and immediately take it out by nailing some triples.
Yeah, Fatum missed a big opportunity to take the 2-0 lead early. Still on throw. That ended up just being a hold to throw for Lim. So not going to think about it too much. He's going to expect more opportunities in the future.
How could you not expect it?
Lim is capable of catching major fire and not really allowing a whole bunch more opportunities from Fatum. Fatum able to do the same.
I think these two guys' games will complement each other well throughout the entirety of this matchup here. But you're right. It's going to come down to some of those big combinations. Again, Fatum with that 157 to deprive Chris of the opportunity at the break.
And look at this. Lim 133, scored to leave 190. But Fatum in control of this leg with the throw. Just needs to set it up. Needs a big treble just to feel good about the round and does not do that. So Lim now a huge opportunity.
Something he needs to capitalize on. Bring this down. If you can get a break on Fatum at this point, especially on potential 15, you'd be happy with it. That's bare minimum to leave a finish, though.
Yeah, to say the least. Only 150, so Fatum back in control even if he just sets it up, which he does beautifully to leave 56. Lim, an outside shot at the 150. We've seen the 157 already in this final. This 150 would hurt a little bit more because it's a break.
Not going to take the Whitlock approach.
No, that would be a bold move.
God, but it's so cool every time. Instead, fighting to still find the 20 bed. Only getting 60 there. We'll potentially have a 2-dart reapproach, but only if Fatum misses the double top here.
Which he does not. Dead center in that double. 2-1 lead and another hold to throw for Fatum. As we're still waiting for both these players to kind of hit their high gear. Fatum has been consistent except for 1 or 2 matches around a 90 average. Lim has had the higher ceiling, that is for sure. A 96 and a 99 throughout the day. But the consistent B-plus game from Fatum has been enough to get to this point.
Well, and typically the consistency is what shows in the final more so than the highest ceiling. Highest ceiling in the final is the hardest time to throw that game. The first round and the last round. Any round in between, you can throw exceptional, and it might not get you any trophies or prizes.
Amen. We're seeing some good cover shots. Lim used that last round to score on the 19s. Looks like he's looking there again.
Yeah, pretty reliable on his grabs for him. Didn't like the position of his first start, so he's quick to pivot.
Yeah, if he goes above that treble, he'll go back up. Fatum, that's a perfect dart. For that right there, didn't switch to the 25 on dart 3, but that's a 180 from Fatum, makes it work. And it's an attack on the Chris Lim throw.
A beautiful play there from Fatum. Lim now needs to collect something special. Can't stay on the 20.
Yeah. Oh, no. Misses the big segment of the 19 and gives Fatum 6 from 125 for a break a throw.
No fun with no bowls on the 125, but does do a good job of teeing up pretty well there.
Yeah, 109 to leave 16. Absolutely brilliant setup play. Fatum missed 3 straight at a double in the last leg. So if you're Lim, you just got to try to put as much pressure as possible on this.
You can't give up on any of these moments. You assume Fatum's going to take this, but assuming can get you in some pretty crappy scenarios as he does a good job of bringing it down to 80.
But it does go in on dart 2 for Dave Fatum. Now up 3-1. 14 dart break. And Chris Lim now finds himself 2 breaks down, essentially, in this final.
Yeah, I love the throw of Fatum there. Pretty simple, brings it to his shoulder, and then just full-on follow-through. Beautiful arch to it.
And I'm always a huge fan of the fancy pinky.
Well, yeah, you got to know he's doing it proper.
Well, he's a gentleman. You know, he wants to make sure to show up. I actually do the pinky as well. It's just kind of a natural thing for me.
A gentleman and a scholar, my friend.
I know I mentioned this earlier, but I do like his jersey designs. This one's really clean and nice. I like the colors.
Yesterday and the day before, he had a kaleidoscope effect going on.
Real bright. I thought he was representing Arizona's flag yesterday. Let's put it that way.
Still nailing the 20 bed Fatum does as he finds another 140 in this matchup. Definitely playing to that 90 average he called for.
Fatum trying to get back into the winner's circle in the WDF. The last WDF ranking title he had was in 2021 at the Oregon Open. He's also won the Greater Vancouver Open in 2018, and he's a 2-time Camilla Classic champion in 2007 and 2008.
And Fatum, one of these top-level players kind of fishing for a title that they haven't had in a little while. I mean, they've won a couple of other side events at like Seacoast and whatnot, but they're fishing for something big, and getting a silver event to start off your year is going to be a great way to do so.
Well, he's trying to get himself one leg away from doing exactly that. 76 in his way, double 8. And he does not get it. Outside shot at the 160. Can we see the Asia Jalbert?
Oh, does she get to claim the whole shot?
Well, for this weekend, yeah, so far.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
I just love that the largest checkout we've seen of the weekend has been done by a 20-year-old 4-time youth champion and now 1-time ADO national champion. Speaking of which, Chris Lim is the ADO 501 national champion in 2016. Yeah, he's double trouble.
He's frustrated there. I mean, he has every right to be. Missing multiple darts now to get himself at match point. And look at this. Chris Lim looking to punish.
And he does.
Twice on the double 20.
Tops for Lim. And breaks right back. A lot of missed doubles there for Fatum. And that's something where mindset-wise can really, really mess with you.
Well, especially if Chris holds his throw here, right? Because then you're thinking, man, I really had an opportunity to be 4-1 up. Instead, now I'm 3-3. Can't get that far ahead of yourself here. You got to take it every 3 at a time. But big moments.
And the one thing from David Fatum is that he has been preaching for a very long time now about the mental mindset of the game, staying calm and collected, the do more, be more mentality. So practicing what he preaches by starting off with a steady ton after the mistakes he made on doubles in that last leg.
I mean, it gets frustrating, right? When you're fighting your own demons on the dartboard, as he does find a 180 there. It can be hard because that's all you think about sometimes. You think about how frustrating the moments it can be, that sometimes you forget there's a certain level of high praise that you should be giving yourself when you make something like a final and you do the runs that you do, and you inspire as many people as you do. I mean, a lot of people tune in to watch his rapid-fire questions, watch his tournament reports, and everything else.
Well, right now, Lim in trouble on his own throw. Fatum attacking hard.
Serious resolve from Fatum right now.
Yeah, utilizing the bowl to leave a one treble needed combination, just in case Chris throws in a max or even a 140. $137 or $136 would be fine. So would a 134, which is what I meant.
You got there. Meyer.
Going down for this look.
Yeah,
needs the treble.
He doesn't like the way the dart kicked up a little bit. He's moving over just to the side to try to find that treble. Whoa, low, sunk that dart.
This is a game changer if this falls for Lim. 167.
I've already seen a 157.
Not going to go. Fatum back for a potential 13 dart break of throw. And what a response after missing all those doubles. But this is where the mentality of I just missed a whole bunch of doubles can come right back in. But he does not do it there. Fatum retakes control. It's as if he won the last leg in that regard. Up 4-2 and in the driver's seat here at this final.
Exactly, Sean. I mean, we talk about how detrimental it is to potentially lose your position just because of all those missed doubles. Well, if you're going to break right back, then you're exactly right. You think, okay, I'm good. Life's good. Darts is good. I'm having fun.
And again, just an absolutely fantastic response from Fatum. Lim back against the wall, needs to win 3 on the trot if he wants to be the Las Vegas Classic champion, starting off with a 140. And you called it. The game has risen for both players. More so for Fatum at this point.
Yeah, Fatum finding that consistent gear right around that 90. Chris has yet to get into max speed. If he's going to, it's now or never. Needs to ride it out from here with 3 on the spin. Darts starting to argue against him a little bit, not listening like they once were. You see the head shake from Fatum there.
Yeah, he's not happy because that second dart flew real high into the single 20. With how focused and really in it both gentlemen are, they're going to miss on wires most likely at this point if they're missing trebles. 93 scored there from Lim. Good last.
Yeah, solid scoring visit there. Should be able to set up well. And Fatum not going to be on a finish. So this is your opportunity. If you're playing for the break, you're going to try to get done in 6 here. Of course he's going to try. But he's going to try to do it really hard.
He's going to throw in 110% instead of 100. I get you.
That's step 1. Get to a finish. Fatum now going to try to set himself up the same. Although 1-2-2 admittedly better than the 1-2-3.
Instead, he leaves the 1-2-2-8. So Chris Lim's going to start on the 19s on 1-2-3. 104 left, so treble 18. Just goes inside, but it's a good marker on the 86 remaining.
Yeah, that dart kicking onto the left, though. 1-2-8 for Fatum.
For the title.
It would be a big one. Over to the 20. is not going to go. And you can see the head shake there. He was not happy with that dart. Almost felt like it was not going to make it there from the moment he threw it with how quickly he reacted. But now Chris Lim's on 68.
Yeah, this is the first big step. It's going to be only one dart. It's at double 16 with a good marker. And he pins the double 16 to break again. Now 4-3 scoreline. Chris Lim throwing to send us to a last leg decider.
Beautiful stuff there from Chris Lim. Again, showing his determination on the dartboard, saying, I'm not going to give up on this one. I don't care about the position. Lim doing himself many favors in this matchup. But needs to pick up the scoring just a little bit here. Fatum, this is the face he's done particularly well in.
There's been 3 breaks of throw in a row. Lim needs to end that here if he wants to send this to a last league decider.
This is a good way to do so, is by finding that treble 20, going down for the cover once again. Another 99.
This is the final of the Las Vegas Classic Men's WDF Silver Ranking event. Who is going to win their spot at the World Masters? That plus $600 on the line between first and second.
Of course, it's all about the Masters. I mean, let's be honest. You're not going to be mad about extra prize money in Vegas with the restaurants, the casinos, and everything else. You just want the ticket to the big tourneys, though.
Lim still in control of this leg, sitting on 218 after 9. It's not been his greatest performance of the day, but if he can get it to a last leg decider where anything can happen, he'll be extremely thrilled to be in that position.
137, not quite as low as you'd like, but a finish after 12. Fatum having some struggles there. Does actually get that last start in there. My mistake. 137, now the look for Chris Lim, though, to take us the distance. Will not do so. Fatum will have an opportunity here.
80 if Lim returns. Not as good of a setup play as he probably would have liked anyway. But Fatum looking for it. Not going to be able to get it now. And doesn't pressure as much as he wanted either.
Lim's love top so far.
Yeah, I don't see him going tops here. Another single. To send us to a last league decider. Tops. And he pins it to send us to a last league decider. We're going the distance.
Look how quick Fatum wants to get to the Yaki there. He's chomping at the bit to get this leg going, but he has to be careful.
Yeah, great fist bump between both players before they get going.
Would have preferred him just to slow his pace a little bit. Lim looks collected. Again, not really raising his average at all, but he's just been good at finding the right moments to get those shots in, finding these 99s on his opening consistently as well. We did say that to best of the ladies, they need to go to a last leg decider and some mismatched darts.
That's exactly where they are here. Lim now effectively already in control. A couple trebles will cement that. Bit awkward, he's going to switch down. Good cover shots again from Chris Lim. Big 1-3-3. No, 96. I apologize.
Lim at one point was down 1-3, and then Fatum continued to bring it on up. Kept battling back and forth. Lim just hung on tight. And I say hung on tight because, again, he was not playing his best performance of the day. And right now he's looking to put on his best leg of the final.
Trying to leave the big fish. It does leave the big fish. What a way to win the title this would be. And all Fatum can do is put some pressure on, which he did with a 140. Lim has 6 darts from 170 if he needs them. Against the throw, that's exactly where you hope to be. Only gets 80, so leaves 90 for his return.
Fatum can leave himself way nicer in position here. Broke his own rhythm as he dropped one of the darts there. Just going to have to reset. And doesn't capitalize after our first big dart there, much like Chris in the previous.
It's enough pressure, though. Chris needs to go the 20 route.
That's in.
Double 15 for the title. That's on the wire. And Chris Lim is the champion of the men's Las Vegas Classic in 2025.
And look, Chris Lim giving a little bit of a celebration after as he fought hard. Had to get 3 off the spin there to get to this position. 4-2 deficit, excuse me. Came all the way back, fought well, played well. Good darts from Chris Lim, and David Fatum having a little bit of a heartbreaker towards the end.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. But congratulations to Chris Lim, your champion of the Las Vegas Classic.